Hi guys, welcome to a new series, North Node in Pisces. So in order to reflect that beautiful, mysterious Pisces energy, I'm wearing this beautiful, mystical, fairy, blue, shiny dress. So you guys can get a better idea of what Pisces is. So we're gonna dive deep because Pisces is water. But before we do that, let's go back to your South Node in Virgo and see what kind of energies, what kind of memories you're working with, what kind of lifetimes you've had. And then we're going to dive into each house specifically to see how your South Node and North Node manifests. All right, so South Node in Virgo, you guys have a lot of memories of lifetimes when you were of service. You love to be of service. That's your biggest strength that you bring to all of us. If in fact, you don't know yourself unless you are of service on some level, and that's your biggest fear in a sense, that you're not going to be needed. You want to be needed. You like for people to depend on you. That's where you shine. So as far as skills that you bring with you with Virgo South Node, practicality, the idea of service. The difference between Pisces and Virgo as far as service, because they both like to be of service, is Pisces is self-sacrificial. Pisces loses itself. Pisces is like a martyr. Virgo is different. Virgo is practical service, grounded service. So you guys have a great attention to detail. You have an eye for you can come in and you can notice what's not functioning, what's not right, what's dirty, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be cleaned. You love things that are dirty. And it can be all kinds of things, from a dirty room to a dirty, somebody's dirty emotional life, somebody's dramatic life. You're very good at coming in and cleaning shit up. You love that. And the dirtier, the messier, the better for you, because then you really feel like I gave it all and I freaking saved somebody today. You love to save people. You are my... If I were to describe Virgo, I would say it's a mixture between Capricorn and Gemini, because it has the practicality and the groundness of Capricorn and that hard work. But at the same time, it has that sharp, quick mind of Gemini. Your mind is sharp. You have great attention to detail. You're great at work that requires a long time, looking at something and breaking it apart, and you don't get bored of that. In fact, you love that. Some people could say, I can't do it, my head hurts. You're different. You will sit there and you'll figure it out. So you guys make great accountants. You guys make, bookkeepers, record keepers, anything where meticulousness is required, attention to detail, no mistakes. Virgo does not tolerate mistakes. Virgo, in that sense, is very perfectionist in the idea of that it has to be done perfect. So if somebody looks at it, they can't find nothing. They can't find a pile of dirt anywhere. People that come in and they swipe like that to see if there's any dust left. That's you guys. So when you guys are done with something, it's squeaky clean. And I mean that in direct sense, with actually cleaning stuff, and also in the theoretical sense. You guys are my cleaners, my fixers, my Ray Donovans that come in and they get the job done and they fix it. When everybody else is running away and panicking, you guys are right there. Put your gloves on and get down to it. All right, so a lot of skills when it comes to precision, detail. At the same time, you're great at, a lot of times they associate Virgo with medical professions. You had a lot of lifetimes where you were of service in a medical way, in a health way, nurses, doctors, surgeons, anywhere where there is a requirement for precision, for attention, for figuring it out, pinpointing it. You do have a scientific mind as well. Your mind is sharp. So you could have been somebody who was very good at catching things, at noticing detail. You guys are great at coming in anywhere. Let's say, how they have these shows where they have I think it's a beauty salon. The woman comes in, I think it's Tabitha, I don't know. She comes in and she right away, she sees what's not working, what needs to be fixed, what could make this place more efficient. That's what Virgo is good at. Now, the downside of Virgo South Nodes is that you guys, because you're so good at detail, because you place such high importance on achieving high quality work, you're perfectionist. So the idea of perfectionist, there's nothing wrong with that, but perfectionist in the extreme can drive you crazy, literally, where you're never satisfied with whatever you produce, where you're always nitpicking. And you do that to yourself more than anybody, right? The first one that gets to feel that is yourself. That idea that you're not perfect, you gotta be better, you gotta be more detailed, better, you can do better. And then it goes on to other people. You do that to other people. You nitpick them apart. You destroy them with your mind. Your mind that's so focused on details and stuff can destroy somebody in every way. You can look at their appearance and you can just completely just, like a surgeon, like a plastic surgeon, the way they like circle things and make little marks, you can do that to somebody and completely just disassemble them and put them together the way you want to see them, because you have a vision. Virgo knows how things need to be. You think you do. You think that your way is the best way, most efficient way, most perfect way. But we all know that we're not all operating like that, you know. So what you guys may think is perfect to somebody can be a nightmare, because it's like it's too much pressure, you know. So Virgo has that tension in them that it has to be perfect, it has to be right, and I have to do it. And if I don't do it, if I don't say it, if I don't pinpoint a finger and criticize, that person is never going to get the better version of themselves. So you guys have that in you. You kind of want to save everybody, and you're very quick to come in and say, you're wrong, this is fucked up, you need to eat better, you need to lose weight, this is dirty, you need to wash your hair. Those kind of ideas, you know. Virgo is critical. Virgo can be very critical, the most critical zodiac sign, and you guys are known for that, and that's okay. So what else? Virgo is also very prudish, because Virgo has this idea of what's right and what's wrong, and you know, Virgo has very clear boundaries on what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's respectful, what's disrespectful. You know, you guys can be very judgmental. You can be very prejudiced as well. You know, you have this idea of how things should be, and you are not afraid to express it. And more than likely, it's, you know, a lot of people probably maybe don't like to be around you so much, because you're always pinpointing their flaws, you know, and nobody likes to see that. So anyway, what else? I guess we can talk more when we dive into each specific house, but I guess general idea would be, you guys can be prejudiced, you guys can be very prudish, you know, this is wrong, this is inappropriate, you know, this is dirty, you know, let's say sex is dirty, you know, we don't do it like this, don't eat like this, make sure you etiquette, you know. Virgo is beautiful in its idea of details and making sure everything's spick and span, but if you take it to an extreme, it becomes destructive. It becomes, instead of building things up, it tears things down, because it just destroys them and says, this is wrong, this is not up to my standards. All right, so with North Node in Pisces, you're here to completely challenge, to change the way you think, the way you approach this world. Instead of coming in with a magnifying glass and sitting there and you know, and looking to see the mistakes, because Virgo is very good at seeing mistakes, mishaps. Virgo has a lot of pet peeves, you know, because the idea of perfection is it has to be like this, and you're very neurotic in that sense. So with Pisces North Node, you're here to let go of that, and it's going to be hard for you guys, because Virgo, anytime there's a South Node in an Earth sign, it's going to be very hard to break through that rigidity, you know, because Earth signs, they're stubborn in the way they do things. So Virgo is stubborn in the idea of perfection, in the idea of meticulousness, in the idea of the standards that Virgo has. So with Pisces North Node, you're here to let go of that, to lose yourself in your experience, to lose yourself in the day-to-day, to not look for details, but to see the bigger picture. Instead of tearing things down with your mind, look at it, you know, step back and look at it as the perfection and beauty that it is. Even if it looks fucked up, even if it's dirty, even if it's completely messed up in your critical mind, because your mind is very critical. Even if it looks completely messed up, completely just crazy, does not fit any of your standards, you still have to see the beauty of it. Pisces North Node is unconditional. Pisces is artistic. Pisces challenges you to go from that logical mind and lose yourself in the world of mystery, in the world of intuition, in the world of music, the arts, anything ethereal, fairy tales, anything that's cray-cray, anything that your mind would deem as, oh no, we can't go there, we can't go down that rabbit hole, we're gonna lose our mind. You can lose your mind, guys. It's okay for you guys. It's okay for you guys to completely let go of that inner critic and completely open up to the beauty of you, because you have so much feeling in you and so much intuitive in you, and you want to feel that so much. You desire to get lost in that, because you're tired of being that doctor, that surgeon, that nurse that's like, you know, or that critic that's always like looking for like the wrongs. And you're here to embrace everything around you and get lost in it and produce some beautiful stuff, because Pisces is so artistic, and you could literally just go on this beautiful journey, and then of course share it with us, and you can still be of service, but it's not going to be the critical way. It's going to be in the way of beauty, of calling us, beckoning us like a siren to get lost in your deep waters. Okay, guys, so now let's go into each house and see what we're dealing with over there. Okay? All right, come along. North Node in Pisces in the 10th house. Before we dive into that, let's talk about your South Node in Virgo in the 4th and see what kind of memories you have from other lifetimes and what kind of beliefs you have that have to do with that. So with Virgo in the 4th, you spend a lot of time close to home in all kinds of manifestations, you know, close to your country, close to your tribe. You were right there, very practical, very involved with everyday activities. You know, you were very, you were of service. You were of service to your family in all ways possible. I mean, you were taking care of them. You were caretaker. You cleaned, you cooked, you sewed things for them, you ironed. You know, you have very good home building skills. You know, home economics, when they used to teach that in college or high school, whatever, that was you. You know, you were Susie the homemaker, just like Cancer in the 4th. Very practical. You know, you knew how to cure everybody. You probably have your own idea of like remedies. You know how to, just any situation, no matter how dirty it was, no matter how messy, you knew how to take care of it. And your family relied on you. Those kind of ideas, you know. So you were very close to home. You know, you had a lot of lifetimes where you know, were of service to your close surroundings, you know, and that was your comfort zone because you were useful. Like I said, with Virgo South Nodes, the biggest fear you guys have is that you're not useful, that you're not needed. So with Virgo in the 4th, you were useful to your family, and that was enough for you. You know, it was a very simple life. A lot of like lives where you just kind of just lived and did your chores and did your thing, and that's it. The bad part about Virgo in the 4th is that there could be stagnation. You know, anytime you have an earth sign in the South Node, it's going to lead with stagnation. It's going to deal with that. So there was a lot of the idea of comfort zone, and there was maybe a lot of, you know, you knew your comfort, you knew your home, but you were very kind of scared in a sense, and it gave you anxiety, the world out there, you know. So you always stayed close to home because the world out there to you was kind of scary. It would give you worry, you know, because Virgo can worry a lot. You know, Virgo is Virgo likes things to be stable, simple, just everything can be handled. You know, we don't need nothing crazy, pompous, nothing. We just need simplicity, and everybody's fed and we're good. And the socks are clean and the dishes are washed. That kind of idea. So in the 4th in Virgo, what else could be? Ideas of having, if you were, let's say, a parent in the 4th, you know, that's your home environment. If you're a homemaker, you could have had some rigid ideas about your household. You know, you were somebody that maybe was kind of, you know, that idea of perfection, you know, kind of being really nagging your family about what needs to be done and, you know, chores, and you're not doing your part, those kind of ideas. You know, you could have been, you know, you could have had a lot of expectations of your family because you had very high standards of how a family should be and, you know, what a family does together. So you were one of those people that had like a clear idea, like a list. Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do today. You know, very logical, very practical, ideas of not very emotional. The household was not emotional. It wasn't warm, but it was, everything was provided for. You know, that was the idea. So it was kind of a sterile home environment, you know. Everybody was happy, but not really. You know, there wasn't a lot of intimacy, a lot of sharing and stuff. It was very practical. Another idea that comes to mind is there's a movie with Brendan Fraser where they because of a bomb, because of a scare of like a nuclear attack, they hid themselves in like underground, you know. And they had everything they needed, you know, they had their lives there, they had everything they needed, they had all their needs met, you know, very simple and stuff. And they kind of were scared of the outside world. And that's how I see Virgo, you know, Virgo's about practical ideas, solutions, not a lot of emotions, and just kind of the idea that we don't need the world out there. We have everything we need here, you know, we're practical. The world out there is too crazy, you know, it's too much chaos. And Virgo doesn't like chaos. Virgo likes things to be organized, and you're probably like, in a situation like that, you knew like you had your little reserves of canned goods and toilet paper, and you accounted for everything. You know, you were like the accountant of the house, like the treasurer of the household. The same thing with like health. You know, you were somebody that probably cured your own kids. You had your own methods of healing. You had your own ideas about what's healthy for your family. You know, you're probably big on that. You know, maybe in this lifetime, you're all about, you know, we don't eat gluten in this household. We only eat veggies. We're vegetarians. Meat is bad for you. We all take vitamins. You know, you could be like that. You know, very mother hen with your family. You know, very like, make sure they're healthy. Make sure that they're getting water. Make sure they don't eat too much sweets. Make sure they get fresh air. Those kind of ideas. So lots of lifetime spent at home in your comfort zone. Lots of lifetimes worried about your family. With the 10th house in Pisces, you're here to take a break from that. Take a break from your family. Take a break from taking care of everybody and kind of become selfish in a sense and kind of realize that, you know, maybe your family doesn't need you. And it's going to be hard for you because you think that without you, your family cannot go on. But that's not the case. You know, you're here to explore your own talents. And the 10th house is the house of being out there, being in the public eye, being in the spotlight. And with Pisces there, you're here to kind of explore that, your creativity. You know, Pisces is artistic. And so you probably have a lot of artistic talents in you that you don't know of. You know, you're so wrapped up in taking care of everyday life and chores and making sure that, you know, you have that chalkboard in your house and you're writing like, okay, gotta take my kid to practice, gotta pick up Johnny from this. You know, you're so good at like running your household so efficiently, like an assembly line. You're really good at that. But you're so focused on the them that you forgot about you, and you think that you don't exist aside from being a caretaker. All you know is being a caretaker. All you know is being that provider to everybody and a watchdog over everybody. And that's not the case. There's a part in you that wants to get away from that. There's a part of you that's tired of taking care of everybody, wiping everybody's ass and making sure that they're taking their vitamins. It's tired of that, you know. There's a part in you that wants to explore being out there, being artistic. You know, maybe you have a beautiful voice that you're sitting there singing while you're sewing people's socks, whatever. Or maybe you have some kind of artistic talents. They have to be there. With Pisces in the 10th, they have to be there. So you're here to bring all of those to the world. You know, you're here to not be so worried about the outside world and get out of your comfort zone. And get out there and with your fears, you know, embrace them and say, I'm so scared. I'm freaking scared shitless to be out there. But you have to do it, and you take up opportunities. You know, if you cannot get on it literally on a stage, you know, put yourself on YouTube, you know, show yourself to the world. Stop hiding behind an apron. Stop hiding behind being a soccer mom. That kind of idea. Soccer mom would be good for you. Actually, for the 5th house too, and the 6th. But in the 4th as well, because your family, you're that mother hen. You know, stop worrying about them. There's more things in this world than taking care of your family. So yeah, get to know your talents. Get to know your intuitive talents. You know, maybe clairvoyant talents. You know, with Pisces in the 10th, you could be famous for a lot of different things. You could be artistic. You could be some kind of spiritual person. You know, a lot of people are doing that now. They're tapping into their gifts. You know, their tarot cards. Astrology, yeah, you know, anywhere you can use your intuition, you know. So you have a lot of practical skills of like repairing holes and sewing quilts, but you're here to access your intuitive artistic talents. You have them, and show them to us, and don't be shy about them, and you'll see that you're going to have so much more satisfaction from that than from making sure that your household runs on schedule. Okay, so don't be shy, guys. You know, don't be shy. If you have a beautiful voice, start singing. If you can create beautiful things, maybe you can, you know, if you are a good seamstress, maybe you can, you know, do something on a larger scale. You know, come up with something cute, something unique, something. You have to be artistic. It's in you, guys. I know you have it, and you gotta just get into it. You know, artsy. Maybe paint something. You know, maybe write a script or something. You know, be a filmmaker. You know, movie star, or you know, anything. The world is your oyster, literally. You know, you're here to express yourself outside of your household, and that way you can be of service to all of us. Because Virgo will always want to be of service, but this way you get to be of service to us. You know, in the spotlight, not, you know, behind an apron or behind the desk. Okay? All right, guys.